and thank you for joining me here on Sew Stitch Hex. I'm Miss Izzy, and today I thought I would share some spell work with you. So last week with Mason, we did a video interview on his home totems and things he uses in his home, and I really enjoyed this on a practical level and on a simplicity level. Partially because it can be hidden in plain sight, but also because it can work on even a child's point of view. So you have children you are raising in the craft, which I do not, and I would rather adopt if I get children, but I love to study how you would teach children this, just like how you would teach children the Bible, you would teach children your witchcraft practices. I live on the Bible Belt, so this is a different thing for me, and I love it. It's so brilliant. Like, it's wonderful. So I thought I would share one of the spells that I wrote myself. I wrote it originally in my other grimoire that's up on the top of my bookcase. You can't see from here. But I also have a copy here in my big blue book. I'm just going to give you a glance, and then I'm going to read some of it to you. So it's very pink and very blue and very pastel. And what is it about that I'm trying to share with you that's so pink and blue and pastel? It's about creating gargoyles from your stuffies. So, I have a lot of stuffed animals. I love them. I collect them, mostly horror and like bats and vampires and Jason and Freddy. I have all of them. Love them. They're scary but cute. Love it. So much me. This is about using those and utilizing other home totems, such as what Mason had, to enhance your home. So here you're thinking about stuffed animals, which we have honored as protectors since we were children. You think when you were little you had that one stuffed animal, maybe it was a blanket, but a lot of people I know had that one teddy bear that was given to them maybe by their grandmother or by their dad before he went off somewhere for like you have I just watched the most adorable video about a man who gave his child a stuffed animal before he went off to war, and he was like, the child was itty bitty, and when he came back the child was like already in middle school, and it was like, oh, but he still had the teddy, and it was the most heartwarming video I've seen in so forever. It wasn't in English, so I don't know what they were saying, but it was beautiful. They didn't say a lot. It was mostly, I'm pretty sure, I love you, and it was just like, oh. But it's the idea that this is our protector, this is the one we care about, this is who fills in that space when we're just so sad and so upset. And here we have honoring them as a gargoyle. So what are gargoyles? Gargoyles are protectors that you see on churches. They're like these grotesque, horrible, monster-looking things. They're there to scare away the spirits. So in this ritual that I have planned, and I've done before, it's been basically you're honoring your stuffed animals and maybe even your knicknacks as your gargoyles, as the protectors of your home, there to ward off bad things. So in my case, I wanted pastel candles and positive adorableness, but I wanted a balance with darkness. So I had things like baby pink and lavender. So you have all pastel, but like a balance of light and dark colors, warm and cold. And then I had ribbon, because I work a lot with ribbon and sewing when I do magic. So here you would take the ribbon in soft colors. I use baby pink just because I have so much of it and I love it. So, and I did this in the carpet because I wanted to do a stick in the ground kind of thing. And then you have whichever stuffies that you want to honor in this ritual. You can do it multiple times. You can do it every time you get a new home, every time you get a new stuffy. You can do it with as much dedication or not as you want. And I talked about utilizing bells or charms as decor for the home, because like the bells used to cleanse and protect the home, as I've mentioned in one of my smoke-free cleansing, alternative cleansing videos. And it can add whimsy to the stuffies and help attract the fairies to the little tinkling of the bells, and I thought that'd be precious. I wrote down some associations of colors, and I wrote down to, first, you make a circle with your stuffed animals. If there's only one, then you would be you and the stuffy. You make a pentagram with your candles. and you're going to put in between the candles, the 5 candles, you're going to have just on the edges little needles or pins that you're going to use to hold down string. So you're going to have these tools, and you're going to have a chant while you're using the ribbon to tie around your stuffies. So what you're going to do is use the thread to make the pentacle. Not the ribbon, the thread. You're going to take it and pin it down with the needle, just enough to hold it in place, or tying it to it like a little bow, which may add extra aesthetic and just be super cute. But it's kind of symbolizing you're tying that intent into it, you're honoring them, and this is the power of the intent tied to it. Do it in the shape, and you can just wrap around. You don't have to tie it every time. You can just make a little star. And you can do it for welcoming or banishing, or you can do it in starting with your favorite element. It's really up to you. This is the ritual to honor them. So I would do probably earth or spirit, because I would want to ground my home, or I would want to welcome the positive spirit versus the negative, and that's just what I would do. But you could also do banishing to banish the negativity. But it's all up to you how you set your circle here. And then another option, which I do because I'm so extra, is, and I'm going to read it because it's super detailed, is having rose water to douse the ribbons and dry overnight. So you're going to get rose water, which you can set out in the moonlight, picking the moon that works best with you. I did at least 1 hour for a full cycle of the moon, all cycles, like starting with new all the way down to like waning from everybody. I want to go the full route. So I put it out for an hour each night, the rose water, and I would soak the ribbons in it for a certain amount of time to help purify them, and then I could sprinkle some on the stuffed animals or the sacred space. So that has been done. You're going to use the ribbon that you picked, which would be like whichever colors you think are adorable, because you had the ribbon and you had the string. The ribbon you're going to take and you're going to tie it to your stuffies. It's kind of like, this is like you've been knighted, basically, to take on this role of protector in the home. And you're going to have the chant. Eyes of glass and button tacks, fuzzy hands and plastic hair, I know you will always be there. As I light your heart's flame in this place I reside, I ask you seek to protect, find danger where it hides. Be my guide as you've been since many years ago, endeavoring and undying, as above so below. Now, I thought this was precious, and it was just supposed to be super light and fluffy. But for me, I really enjoyed this because it honored my creatures that I have all over my home, because I have decoratives all over the place. So I honored my like skeletal toys that I kind of got around Halloween. Can't wait, I'll be able to get some more soon. As guardians and as gargoyles of my living room. So like they sit on the edges of bookcases, and they sit in little tiny nooks and crannies, so that at first glance you might not notice them, but they're there watching. And I've had people come over who had ill thoughts, and they started to feel like they were being watched and feel creeped out, so they left. They're like, you know what, I feel weird, so I'm going. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I know it's protecting my home, because it's getting out some negativity. And that's happened. And that's okay, because that's their purpose. So essentially, as cute as this is, it's just to honor what's already there, since we already recognize stuffed animals as protectors and have when we were children. Maybe you grew out of it, but maybe you didn't. Now, this can be considered a form of animism or giving life to things that are inanimate, but in some way it's just giving more life and actually physically giving a honoring ritual to recognize them for the work that they've done. We consider them protectors as we have, but this just solidifies it. It just makes it more true. Saying, thank you for the work you've done to protect my home. Keep up the good work. You are knighted, Mr. McStuffington. Like, there we go. It's kind of what that does. And it's really cute, and it can also be a really fun way to work with children and letting them do this. They can write their own chant. I make my own little chants all the time. I made this one just because I was feeling super special towards my stuffies. I was like, y'all help me out when I'm sad. Thank you. And that's basically what this is. So thank you very much for watching the video. Like, subscribe, comment if you can, and tell me, have you ever honored your stuffed animals? Do you currently honor them today? Is there a way that you choose to honor them? Do you think this is dumb? If you have children, do you let them honor their stuffed animals and their protectors of their home and their space? Let me know in the comments below. And I hope to cast a spell with you in the next video.